In this episode, we're talking about one of the most intriguing aspects of the 2024 movie Civil War. If you've been following the buzz, you know that Texas and California form an unexpected alliance in this dystopian thriller. By the way, there aren't much spoilers here. If you haven't watched the movie, you're in the right place. As you may have already seen from either the full movie or the trailer, it's a faction called the Western Forces of Texas and California that's taking direct confrontation against the US government. We're here to explore why these two states, usually at opposite ends of the American political spectrum, join forces. So, what's behind this surprising team-up? There are a few clues we can easily pick up on. First, the president, played by Nick Offerman, is serving an unprecedented third term, a significant factor contributing to the conflict. Then the character Sammy, a veteran journalist, says to the characters played by Kirsten Dunst and Wagner Moura, "They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. They literally see us as enemy combatants." As the movie rolls along, it's the soldiers of the Western Forces of Texas and California that appear to welcome journalists, and even escort them as they advance the front lines into Washington, D.C. All of these suggest that the Civil War doesn't run along the ideological lines of left versus right, liberal versus conservative. The conflict lies between democratic forces versus a fascist U.S. federal government. California and Texas banded together, despite ideological differences, to preserve democratic freedoms. The audience can deduce that the president, to maintain power, must have taken extreme measures, which include extending into a third term and shooting journalists. It's the president's move into an authoritarian regime that led to various rebellions and secessions across the nation. Aside from the Western forces, there are also other factions. The Florida Alliance is mentioned in the movie, and based on this poster released by the production studio A24, there's also a group called the New People's Army. And there are loyalist states, indicating that these states are aligned with the authoritarian federal government. The use of the term Western forces, despite Texas not technically being in the geographic Western U.S., seems to evoke the broader concept of the West, or Western civilization, where democracy is a paramount value. In the movie, the administration's fascist policies pose such a danger that Texas and California put aside their differences to fight against a common enemy. The movie's director, Alex Garland, also addressed this. In an interview, he says, "There is a fascist president. The president is killing their own citizens. Then what's happened is two states who are in different political positions are saying we are more concerned about a fascist constitution than we are about our political differences." Further, as Civil War revolves around a group of journalists navigating through a fractured nation in the midst of a violent uprising, Alex Garland emphasized that the movie isn't just about politics, but rather about the role of journalists in such turbulent times. The film seems to provoke discussion about political polarization and the role of journalism in times of conflict. The director said, "The film attempts to function like old-fashioned reporters would do, say, 'This is what I observed.' Then it would be up to the viewer to take their own meaning from that." All of these seem to challenge the simplistic red versus blue divide often depicted in American media. These creative choices in the film demand viewers to ask themselves why such an alliance would be necessary. What do you think about this alliance? Does it make sense in the context of the film, or do you have other theories? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into your favorite films and TV shows. Until next time, stay curious.